Great. Hello, everybody. All right, so we are going to be discussing surgical menopause. So this is something that is very near and dear to my heart because I have been in surgical menopause since I was 29 and I'm 40. And so I want to begin this by saying I am not a medical professional, okay? I am a certified Trim Healthy Mama coach. I am a certified nutrition coach who has experienced surgical menopause. And I have many clients that have experienced surgical menopause, and this is our experience, okay? So I just wanted to say that you may, at the end of my little chit chat, ask questions. There may be a question that I don't feel comfortable answering, and I will do my best to, that looks a lot better. I will do my best to, refer you to a good place to find your answer. But just saying that right there. Okay. I had a comment today on Facebook that was very medically, and I'm like, hey, sister, I've never seen you before. You're not one of my paid clients. I don't give information like that just on Facebook. And she was like, oh. So anyway, I don't know how that went. And then I ended up having to delete the post because my image had typos and I had to change it. So anyway, I was like, oh, well, if she messages me, I'll inform her of what happened. It wasn't her fault and she didn't do a thing wrong, but people don't think about things like that. And that's okay. That's okay. But we have to have certain channels, right? Okay. Where did my little notebook go? There it is. Okay. So like I said, I'm 29. I was 29 when I had my total hysterectomy. I had all the things taken: ovaries, tubes, uterus, cervix, all gone. Okay. So I'm just like sewed up at the top. Okay. And I was given Premarin in the OR. Okay. Premarin is a hormone replacement drug that is given a lot, right? If you do not know, Premarin is derived from pregnant mare urine. Okay. So they take the hormone. I know y'all's faces. They take the hormones from that substance and create a drug. Okay. I didn't know that at the time. But probably 4 or 5 days after my hysterectomy, I had a pulmonary embolism. And it is a miracle that I'm here. I was actually in the hospital for quite a long time because I was having some complications, couldn't get my pain under control and things like that. When I finally came home, spent one night here, and then the next morning I had severe chest pains, and I was home by myself, and my friend just came by to check on me, and she rushed me to the emergency room. And I was sent home because they couldn't quite tell anything. And then I was called before we even got back home. We were called and said, rush back, don't hit any bumps, pretty much what they said. And I was in the hospital for another week or so. It was extremely scary. Our daughters I was going through this with someone the other day. I think they were about 6, 4, and 2-ish. Our girls, they're 17, 15, 13 now. So that I think that about works out right. And so, it's all a blur, right? All that stuff. But, we had these little kids and my husband was working and I was dealing with all this. It was very scary. And at that point, after my embolism, I was on blood thinners. So I could not be on hormone replacements at that point. So I was 29 years old in full-blown menopause, but I didn't know it. I didn't understand it. No one explained it to me. And I began to go downhill with my health. I had tons of mood swings. I don't remember like night sweats or anything like that, but I know I had tons of anxiety, mood swings, weight gain, a lot of problems, right? So years down the road, I had gone back and forth with exercise and eating healthy and doing different things like that. I've always been interested in that, but I did not have the energy. I had that hysterectomy because I had so much abdominal pain and cramping and issues from that. I had 3 C-sections in a row. So I've had 4 major abdominal surgeries. And y'all, you can punch on me because I'm strong now. So makes me happy. You can do it too. But we'll get to that later. So I went through kind of, the ups and downs of I'm going to be healthy and I can't do this anymore. And I'm going to be healthy. I can't, and that was with food and exercise. And of course, mental things too, up and down. So then in 2016, our youngest son, we adopted both of our boys, our youngest two. He was born, and I was my most unhealthy, self right there. And he was 6 months old, and I told my husband, I'm tired of this. I'm going to do something for myself. And I went to CrossFit. If any of you heard my story before, you've heard this. I'll keep it super short so we can get to the good stuff here. But I just wanted to give you some background of where I was, okay? So I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired, that whole little thing, right? So I start going to CrossFit, and I get like in this group of these amazing people, super encouraging. And it was just like a new little season of my life. 6 months later, I found out about Trim Healthy Mama. And that is where we're going to come to our first point, is that Trim Healthy Mama began to support my body because I was fueling my body properly. If you've ever done any of my classes before, group coaching, one-on-one, whatever, you know that I preach protein, paramount protein. That's a little saying that has come through with my coaching. Super, super, super important. THM guidelines teach 20 to 30 grams protein per meal, breakfast, lunch, supper, 10 to 15 in a snack. Very important. I don't care who you are. Okay. That's what you need to be doing, girls. Okay. That protein is going to keep your blood sugar stable. It's going to build your muscles, which keep your bones strong, which we need. So many other things as well. It keeps kind of like that. It just keeps that brain fog away. It anchors your carbs in your meals so that you're fuller longer. It satiates you as well. It just makes you a much healthier person. Okay, so protein, THM, and supporting your body. Also, non-starchy veggies. So I joke about this all the time, but it is the honest truth. I was raised on hamburger helper and a can of green beans, okay? My mama, God love her, she was doing her best. I'd say it right here. She was sitting beside me. She's not too far. They live in our backyard, but that is just the way we did. Now, were there meals that she made that were different? Yes, but like that was our go-to, okay? And so I just wasn't raised like that. And that's what Wes and I did for our family, and our children when they were growing up. Chicken nuggets, mac and cheese. I am sure y'all have been there. So when I began, and I loved to cook, I loved doing things, I loved that, but it was just what we did, right? So when I started doing THM, I was like, okay, I can do this cookbook thing. But I learned that I needed to have more veggies. And I really believe that including the rainbow of beautiful fruits, veggies, and carb sources that THM encourages us to use was extremely helpful in my journey of healing my body. While I was not on any hormone replacement, remember, none of that. Now, the other things that I began learning is the way that THM supports your body to promote weight loss. So the weight loss plan is S, E, and fuel pull. Fat meals with fat, low carb, meals with carb, low fat, and then meals or snacks. Of course, you can have S and E snacks too, but most of my snacks, right, are fuel pull. They just are. That's the way I do it. But meals that are fuel pull, low fat and low carb. Okay. So that's what I just started doing. January 2017, SE fuel pull, S helpers, crossovers, all of those other things. Didn't know nothing about them. Could have cared less. I was rocking out. I was doing the recipes. I was making simple things. I figured out what foods went together by trial and error. I made big mistakes. I thought peanut butter was a carb for months. It is a fat. But, you just go through it. And I had removed the sugar. I removed the white flours, and I was rocking and rolling. I drank a lot of water. I did the GGMS train. I did the Singing Canary train, which was very helpful in reducing inflammation. We're going to talk more about that in a second with hormones. And it was just a beautiful way for me to support my body. So at that point, no hormone replacement. My adrenals were carrying my body. They were making my body function. No ovaries, making no hormones, but my adrenals were kind of taking over. So when I started THM, in addition to working out at CrossFit, and I might have gone 3 days a week, I wasn't an everyday. that? No, that's not Amy Gaskin. No, 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 no. But that's what I was doing, just so you have a little reference. Okay. I was more energy with my children, doing all the things. I had 5 at that point, and you know, they ranged all the ages, but all the ages, still do all the ages. So anyway, being more active and much happier in my life. Now, whenever I began researching some more, I started reading the big THM Bible. Okay, I'm not trying to be blasphemous, but oh, my soul, is it not the THM Bible, this book? Okay, because I love Jesus and all the things. Okay, but I started reading and started learning. And so I went to my doctor and I said, you know, I'm really interested in bioidentical hormones. What can I do, you know, naturally? I don't really want to take a chemical. I just, that's not me. That's just not me. If it's you, that's fine, girls. You do you, boo. Y'all will hear me say that all the time. Y'all probably already have heard me say that. But she, and, you know, told me that there was a compounding lab that did bioidentical hormone cream. So they actually took a sample of saliva, if I'm not mistaken, and then they mixed it with the cream so that I could absorb it better. So that was a mixture of the estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone cream. You put it on a soft area of your skin in the morning. I put on the inside of my arms, inside of my legs, on the belly. But the bad thing about that is, for me, is sometimes I would forget to use it. And then also, no one was monitoring my levels. So it was just a shot in the dark. And they would just keep refilling it if I kept coming. Well, I'm going to tell y'all right now, from my experience, somebody needs to be monitoring your levels, because if any of those 3 get out of whack, you're going to have problems. Okay. So I started doing the cream. And then when all that COVID stuff started, I just quit worrying about it. Okay. And so I had probably actually fallen off the cream wagon 6 or 9 months before, but I might have had a little bit left in my little tube, and I might use it every now and then. Very inconsistent. And it's just life, just the way I did it. Okay. So COVID hit, and then we are going to be talking about what happened to me in June of 2020. So all of the emotions, all of the stress, all of the things, y'all lived it too, right? It was crazy, right? I got extremely overwhelmed. And there were a lot of other factors involved in that, but you can imagine. And pretty much I had what I call a hormone storm. That's what I call it. I don't know. But I ended up getting in with a functional medicine doctor. And that is something that I very much encourage my girls to do. So what you would do if you're looking for a functional medicine doctor in your area, you will search functional medicine doctor, then see if they offer hormone replacement pellets, pellets. That may not be what you need, but if they're offering pellets, they're going to be good for you if you're wanting a more natural approach to this. Okay. So a functional medicine doctor can write prescriptions, and they do more holistic things as well. And they're going to work with you for whatever it is that you need for your life. So I went to my doctor, and she was like, Sister Fran, all your things are 0. And some of them were negative. And I'm like, yes, I know. My adrenals were terrible. Homocysteine was terrible. My thyroid was acting up. I did not speak about that, but I'd had Hashimoto's years before. THM had actually healed that. I weaned off that medicine, but then we're fast forwarding a few years here to 2020, and it's back because my adrenals were tanked, right? It just could not handle anymore due to all the anxiety from all the things going on. So in that case, the adrenals tanked, so it wasn't helping with the hormone replacement, and my thyroid was not able to act the way it was supposed to either. So I was 100% on plan. I was a THM coach. I'd been a coach for about a year, getting close to that. Had all these groups, all these one-on-ones, doing great, sharing all the things, and I was gaining weight. I gained about 10 pounds, almost up to 15 pounds before I got some results from the medications she wrote me, because I was a little bit hard-headed. Okay, she really wanted me to start some thyroid medicine. Armor Thyro was what I ended up getting on for the Hashimoto's. But I was like, I don't want to take a pill. I don't want to take a pill. I'm going to try these supplements. And she was like, okay. But it didn't work. And that's when that 15 pounds finally hit. I was 100% on plan. I was still working out, taking care of myself, doing all the things that a Trim Healthy Mama would do, like literally all the things. Okay. Cause I was really paying attention, rest, water, blah, blah, blah. Was not working for me. So I did have to get on medication for thyroid. So at that appointment, the estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, all zeros. Okay. So I got what's called pellets. Okay. They are compounded for your body to feel like they are natural. Okay. And they are time released. So have y'all ever done like the Aussie? I don't even know we call it Aussie at our house. It's for the flu. Oxycilium, I don't know, the little pellets that dissolve under your tongue. Okay, that's pretty much like what this is, but they insert it under your skin. I get mine kind of on the top of my backside over there. So they make a very small incision and then insert that in with a little tube type thing, and then they just put a little steri strip over it, and you're fine. Okay. That's all that is. And I get the estrogen and testosterone, and they can change the dosage for whatever you need. My progesterone that I take is a dissolvable little disc type thing, and I do that every evening because progesterone, that's the way that it works. Okay. So that's what I do. I take Armour Thyro for my thyroid because that is something that's very common with people with issues like me. Okay, so we go back to all of those things that I just said from my story. THM supported my body. I was using SE and fuel pull, right? Until my body just could not take it anymore. Then I had to have a doctor come in and help me. Okay. Then I began seeing food as fuel. That was very important. And I think that is something overall, whether you're in surgical menopause or not, it is very important to change your mindset that food is for your fuel. It is not your friend. It is not your comfort. Now, I love a good piece of on-plan cake, okay? And that can make me feel better. But I have changed my mindset. And so I'm not going to eat 4 pieces of on-plan cake. Y'all see the difference? Okay. So that's something I want you guys to understand. All right. So the food as fuel is very important. Don't forget about Paramount Protein, beautiful non-starchies. E-meals are going to be your friend as a woman. Honestly, guys, we need at least 1 E-meal a day. And I'm going to tell you a little tip here. The good Lord gave us more than oats. Okay. So don't say, well, I had oatmeal every day this week. Great. Good for you. High five. But God gave us way more. Beautiful tropical fruit, mango, sweet potatoes, quinoa, beans, lentils. We need to kind of vary our carb source throughout our week when we can. Okay. So be sure that you're thinking about that. Okay. All right. Nourishing our adrenals. Once again, with those E's. E is for energizing. It's going to give us energy. It's going to nourish our adrenals. It's going to increase our serotonin, make us happy. That's very important. Okay. So good. Then we talked about hormone replacement, choosing what we're going to do. I highly recommend a functional medicine doctor, and you can get pellets, creams, pills, supplements, whatever you want. While I'm on the topic of supplements, I was going to share some things that I use as supplements. Okay, this is one, and I get this from my compounding lab. You can get this at your compounding lab. You can get it off Amazon. But L-theanine, this helps me with anxiety. I actually took 2 this afternoon because I got a little overwhelmed with a few things. I take it as needed. I have some clients that I suggest this supplement to them, and they use it at their discretion. You can contact your doctor about it if you're interested, but L-theanine promotes relaxation. I also take this, you can order this off Amazon, D3. Most women need supplemental vitamin D. I swear, y'all, if I laid out in the sun for an entire week, I think my D would still be bottomed out. I really do. This is a little off topic, but I still want to share it. This is a methylated B12 chewable vitamin, very important. If y'all been listening to any of Pearl and Serene's potties lately, they've been talking a lot about methylation. Okay, I have one more. This is also from a compounding lab. It's called Adrenal Recharge, but I was just going to share what's in here. Okay, so we've got B1, B2, B3, B6. We have folate, B12, biotin, and B5. So it is similar to this. So I take this one in the afternoon and I take this just one in the morning. It says 2, but I figure since I have that, and that just kind of helps me stay supported, helps my adrenals stay supported. So that's what I wanted to share with you about my personal journey, and I'll be happy to answer questions in a bit. I wanted to share a little bit from the Bible here, the THM Bible, talking about counterfeit or the real thing with hormone replacement. This is on page 478 if you have this book. This is out of print now, so if you're interested in purchasing this, you can probably find it on eBay or Amazon, okay? All right, so counterfeit estrogen will increase inflammation. Bioidentical will decrease it. Counterfeit estrogen increases body fat and decrease your lean body mass. Bioidentical will decrease your body fat and allow for muscle growth. And they have some studies they're citing in this book. So if y'all don't have this book, please try to find it so you can research this for yourself. Counterfeit estrogen raises cardiovascular risk and venous thrombosis, which are those deep vein blood clots a lot of ladies have in their legs and things. Bioidentical protects against heart disease. Primera, which is, like I said, the Premarin chemical horse estrogen, increases incontinence. Bioidentical estrogen significantly will help that problem. Counterfeit progesterone, like Provera, increases the risk of breast cancer. Bioidentical dramatically decreases that risk by protecting you from too much estradiol. I always say that wrong. There are many progesterone receptors in your breast tissue, but no Provera receptors. I think that's very important to know. Counterfeit progesterone promotes diabetes and bone loss. Bioidentical helps build your bones, okay? And it won't raise your insulin resistance either. Counterfeit progesterone destroys your sleep. Bioidentical progesterone is the perfect sleep aid. Glory, hallelujah. I'm a testimony to that. I can put that thing under my tongue and there I go. Okay. It also helps regenerate new brain cell growth, which I know I need with all of this I have going on, right, Susans? My Susans over here, y'all know all the stuff I got. Okay, counterfeit progesterone promotes anxiety and feeling of aggression. Bioidentical naturally soothes and calms. I just thought that was too good not to share with you guys tonight. And there's more on that where it talks about the pill, the danger of supplementing hormones, chemically, and then also, let's see if there's, chapter 33 talks about testing, which I think is good. My doctor does blood test for her needs. I do encourage a lot of my clients who are interested to know, like, this would not be surgical menopause people, because if you've been in surgical menopause and you had your ovaries removed, you do not have anything making your hormones, okay? It's going to be zero. But I just want to pass along the information that if anybody is struggling maybe with a stall or health issues in general, Everlywell has a women's wellness test that tests your all three hormones, your cortisol, your all your thyroid panel, and it's like $200. And that way they can know, like I said, overall. And it's a great test. It's very comprehensive and it's looked at by doctors. So I encourage a lot of my ladies who are not in surgical menopause to go through and do that. So it's a cheaper way to find out, do I have a problem or not, before I spend all this money with a functional medicine doctor, because most of them are not going to take insurance. Some of them do, most of them do not. Like I pay cash or whatever you want to call it. Okay. The rest, the book, the THM book talks about estrogen creams and gels, pellets, pills, troches like I do, and creams, and it goes through all of them. It's very informative. So I would just encourage you guys to read over that if you're interested. It does go into thyroid issues too. So let's see how we're doing on time. Golly, I did good. All right. I wanted y'all to know that you're more than welcome to ask me personal questions. I don't mind answering anything like that. It does not bother me at all. And so I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. And if I think of something else I was going to tell y'all, I'll just do that. So you can unmute yourselves if you like. Okay. And you may ask, if this is first time to be in a class, you can ask questions about the topic or anything THM that you would like to know. Okay. Who's going to be our icebreaker? Susan W.
I'll start just because I mean, what you shared was great. I have been on progesterone for probably about 9 years.
Mhm.
I had postpartum depression after I had my son, got over that with antidepressants, and then I started back on birth control pills, which is a form of artificial or whatever
Mhm.
progesterone. It has progestin in it.
Right.
And so, I was getting older and decided I wanted to stop that because of the risk of blood clots.
Mhm.
And I started having the same symptoms as I did when I went through postpartum depression. And so I went through the testing, had saliva testing, all that. I mean, my numbers were horrible, kind of zeros like yours. And so I started on progesterone at that time, and it has helped so much over the years. And then now I'm going into menopause and I'm seeing a functional medical doctor and estradiol and all that. So everything you said, I second that. And I've
Thank you,
taken the
Susan.
L-theanine for years too. It's really good and
It's the
a help. Yeah,
best.
it really is. And so anyway, thanks for sharing all that. And I did have a question about varying the carb source,
Okay.
because like when I cook, like both my husband and son are working out of town right now, so it's me here, so I'll cook like that creamy chicken and wild rice soup,
Mhm.
and I have that every day as my meal. So that's I'm thinking, is that a bad thing, or since I should be varying my carb source?
So if I were you, I would freeze some of that. It
Okay.
freezes great.
Yeah.
Okay. To have for a rainy day.
Okay.
But then maybe you should think about maybe 3 or so days a week. You have 2 E's a day. And I recommend it. You sound a lot like me with your medical body
Mhm.
situation. I do better not doing 2 E's in a row. I need an S or a fuel pull in between. Okay. So that's
Okay.
something you might want to consider. And so, since you're doing grains and like the rice is a grain and then the carrot, I would go with something like fruit. So, get some mango or some
Okay.
peaches or an apple to be your other carb source that day.
Okay.
And then, I just think, or quinoa, anything that's different. Quinoa is a
Okay.
seed, not a grain. So anything that's different than what you're having. I just think that's wise. It's not a
Yeah.
hard and fast rule. It's nothing THM teaches, but it's just something that I have found to work for a lot of ladies.
Okay. All right. That sounds good, because I'm losing, but it's very, very, very slow. So
Yeah,
I want to do everything I can to
I
try
know.
to get that better. So thank you.
You're
That's good.
welcome.
Um, Hi, I'm Kathy.
Hey.
Hi. Um, so I had a full hysterectomy like you did, but they put me on estradiol only. And I'm wondering if that's so I'm not sure if that's a bad thing or not, because it's been I think 11 years, and I feel fine, except for I had lost a lot of weight doing THM, and I gained like 10, around 10ish back, and I can't get rid of it no matter what I do. And so I'm thinking it's somehow related, but I don't exactly understand what.
I would think so because your body needs the testosterone and progesterone as well.
Okay.
And so I would highly recommend you checking that out.
Okay.
Mhm.
When I first started, I was on the bioidentical, and my doctor, but it's just a regular doctor, but he had suggested that um, that every lab that they don't regulate the amounts of each thing, so he didn't think it was a good thing. He thought it was better to have a
And that
yeah.
was my experience with the cream,
Right. So
Yeah.
this is yeah. So just go to the functional medicine and they regulate it. Is that what you're
Yes, with the
saying? By
pellets.
your
That's right.
okay.
And remember when you're searching for functional medicine in your area, just look at
Mhm.
their website, check their services offered, look for the hormone replacement, and they will let you know. It'll say on there if they do pellets or not. If you
Okay.
have trouble finding, just give them a call. Hey, do y'all offer hormone pellets? Whether they prescribe those to you or not, it does not matter.
Right. Just
But
sit
if
there.
they offer it, they're going to be in the same little frame of mind, as what
Okay.
we're wanting as a natural replacement option.
Okay. Very good.
You
Thank you.
understand? Okay, good. You're
Yes.
welcome. You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Kelly?
I have a question.
Hey.
And I started on THM in 2018, January of 2018. And in 2019, I lost 40 pounds. And then in 2019 was when I had my surgical hysterectomy. I had severe endometriosis. And so they took everything out. And then I gained probably 25 pounds back, a lot right around my middle. I wasn't on any kind of hormone replacement because I have two aunts who had breast cancer. And so any doctor I saw was concerned about me taking, extra hormones. So I didn't actually go see an actual functional medicine doctor until most recently. And she put me on some kind of weird supplement. It was DIM. I don't know. But anyways, I was reading on it and then I was concerned about it said if you have a history of breast cancer that you possibly, should not take it. So I stopped taking that.
Well,
but
they've got to cover their behinds.
Yes. And I'm with you on the adrenal thing because my adrenals are completely stressed out. My labs that I had all my hormones on, I'm like you, like I was zero. I have Hashimoto's, and my antibodies are like over 2,000. I was on Armor. Yeah. And I can't get them down. So my body is going through so much there's so much inflammation going on.
Out.
Yeah. And I don't know where to start because like you, I'm following the plan. I'm switching. I'm eating at least one email a day, switching things up. Then I'm concerned about exercise because I'm hearing if you have stressed out adrenals that you shouldn't be doing any kind of crazy cardio.
That's correct.
So what do you recommend in that aspect as far as exercise that's good for your body?
Okay. I'm only basing this review, if you will, or suggestion by what you just said.
Okay.
But I will say the DIM is estrogen only.
Okay.
You need testosterone and progesterone. Are
Okay.
you on anything for your Hashimoto's?
I was on the Armor thyroid, and then I was getting no relief. Like my TSH was over 9, like 9.4. So the doctor put me on Synthroid. It's really not doing anything different. My numbers are still high.
Did they not increase your dose of Armor thyroid?
They did, but the doctor said, well, the reason that it's not doing anything for you is because it's attacking your thyroid gland because it's more of a natural thyroid. So she said, switch to Synthroid, see how you do. But honestly, it's been 6 months and I'm still tired. Nothing has changed. My weight keeps going up. I'm, almost back to the weight I was when I started.
You're about done, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty frustrated.
Sounds like your cortisol is probably out of whack too. I don't know that I can give you more options other than maybe find a different functional medicine. Yeah. But with THM and exercise, I would highly suggest doing your exercise as low impact walking. If you can walk 45 minutes a day, that will burn more adipose tissue than doing something crazy wild. Okay. If you can. I know that's a lot. I know 45 minutes is a long time. I don't have 45 minutes, but maybe you could work your way up. I don't care if 10 minutes, 20 minutes is more than you did yesterday, right? I highly, highly suggest having maybe alternate. How's your digestion? You don't have to go into details, but is it okay or?
No, I have to take supplements for that too. I take, probiotic. I take a couple different.
I figured. So I suggest alternating GGMS and then a singing canary. Alternate those. I highly, highly, highly recommend. I teach these in group coaching. This is my 4 favorite slimming secrets. Okay. You ready? All right. Half your body weight in ounces of water a day. I don't care if you don't like water. You got to do that. Okay. You're going to have okra every day in something and not air fried to black crisp. Okay. It
Okay.
makes a difference, girls. All right. MCT oil, a teaspoon or more, whatever you can stand a day. The earlier, the better, because it will rev your metabolism. Okay. All right. And then your afternoon snack, and you better be eating every 3 to 4 hours. Okay. Your afternoon snack, make it a good fuel pull.
Okay.
Do you eat a lot after supper?
No, I actually, I was, not to go into more detail, but I was like an emotional eater for
Sure.
a long
Understand.
time.
Yeah.
And so part of my kind of recovery is I don't eat after 6 o'clock.
Good. That's a
I'll
good
have
goal.
herbal tea, but that's pretty
Perfect.
much about
Okay,
it.
good. That's great. That's great. Okay, please just give those 4 things a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Pray about, finding another doctor. Try that L-theanine. If you don't do that, that might be helpful. It might help release some anxiety, help your body relax. Maybe it will start releasing some weight. But I do believe there's a medical issue that could be resolved with the right doctor. That's just so
Okay.
hard. Like my functional medicine doesn't even take patients. She won't even take my husband. And I'm like, girl, it's my husband. We can come together. It'll be okay. And she's like, I can't. He's on the list. But those things that I suggested, you can do those things.
Yeah.
And those are all very good, very wise, very THM solid things. And they're not really hard. You actually could do the fuel pull, okra, and MCT oil together, if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
So that's something that I would highly recommend. Did you ask me anything else?
I don't think so. Because I teach cardio class too, which, so I do that, but I've been trying to do like 15 minutes of cardio only and then do the rest kind of strength training, just not so much for them, but for myself. But if I'm teaching the class, that's what we're doing.
Right.
So yeah, I guess I'll just incorporate more walking though on the days I'm not doing the class. Yeah.
Yeah. Just take it easy.
And that'll help heal my adrenals too, because I feel like they're pretty much taxed to the max.
Yes, and it sounds like you need a lot of anti-inflammatory things. You can Google that easily. Quinoa is going to be top on that list.
Okay.
You probably heard all that. Quinoa every day. That will help you so much.
Okay.
And, as many fruits and veggies as you can. Make sure you got that protein like we talked about. I know that's a lot of boxes to check, but once, I just do all those things now. I'm 5+ years in. It's really not, it's just the way I do. It's my lifestyle, and not everybody does THM that way, and that's okay. But those are my best recommendations for you, because I know you're getting very frustrated.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. We want some solutions. That's kind of my theme this year, is finding solutions. And that's what I want for y'all.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anybody else? If you're not on video, you can still talk if you want.
I'll just add on to what y'all were talking about, because I had adrenal fatigue too. Vitamin C is big and good for that as well, and it's in the singing canary if you put it in there. But I take a lot of vitamin C and have for years, because my doctor told me that was really good for adrenal fatigue too. So I thought I would just talk about that. And turmeric too for inflammation. And that what I found from you, Amy, you brought it to my attention, was that what's it called? Turmeric toddy or whatever. Yeah. And it's a warm drink, and I like that one. And it's very good for adrenal.
It's a good alternative to the canary.
Yes. Yes. All right. That's all.
Thank you, Susan. Girls, any other questions?
Hi, Coach Amy.
Hey, Carrie.
Hi. I am doing buds right now, and I'm learning. Sometimes I'm a slow learner, because when you reviewed my stuff and then it was crossover, it's like, oh no, I thought
you don't know how hard it is for me to do that, but I'm like, they need to know.
That's okay. So today I was feeling frustrated, but I need to just,
Take a breath and
Yep.
reset. It's okay.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
no Trim Healthy Mama police. It's fine.
well, and I picked you as my coach because I too, I lost our surgical menopause 44. I have Lynch syndrome. It's a genetic condition in my family. And so all of us are, that's what's recommended after childbearing.
Wow. I've
My
never heard of
sister-
that.
Yeah. So it's kind of strange how we found out, but it's very prevalent. It's in all 4 of my mom's siblings and all 4 of them. And so then after that, I have 3 siblings and 3 out of the 4 of us have it.
Wow.
My first child got tested and does not, but the next 2, one of them just doesn't want to know. Partly because my husband passed away from cancer 10 years ago. And so just like the stress of another thing. So anyway, that probably, I lost my husband and then got the hysterectomy and just have been just struggling with weight and moods, that type of thing since then, and cannot get it under control. I've been on and off THM a little bit in the past too. I think I get frustrated because it just seems like nothing works. And what happened was I gained immediately after the hysterectomy, I've gained 25, 30 pounds, and it just seems to keep creeping up. Now they only gave me a patch.
Okay.
And I'm not even real great about that's supposed to be twice a week. So I'm kind of going without
You're inconsistent.
anything.
Yes.
So I maybe need to look into some of this
Yes.
more. So
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I would love that for you.
Yeah. Well, I would love it too.
Do you mind telling me if you take anything for anxiety or depression or anything like
I
that?
do. Yeah.
Is it a
So
prescription?
yes.
Okay.
And my a different doctor, because I had some higher kidney numbers. That doctor really wanted me at my next doctor's appointment, which is actually coming up. So this was great timing for me. To discuss getting off possibly that, because that could be really adding to the weight also, is what he thought.
Yeah,
And he said there was
absolutely.
better options that I needed to push for.
Oh man, I think I can tell it from memory close enough. I have a Bloom. She's been with me for probably 1.5 years. And she's actually have a podcast interview with her, Grace.
Okay.
She was an alcoholic. She's recovered. And Susan, she's going to be with us on our beach weekend. Grace, she lives in Washington State, and she's flying down to come be with me at the beach. It's crazy. Okay, so anyway, Grace is precious, and she has dealt with a lot of anxiety and depression and stuff, and she just felt very convicted to get off for whatever reason. That's what she wanted to do for her life. No shame for anybody else, blah, 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 things, Yeah. And so with her doctor, she has slowly done, she's been using L-theanine since January, I believe. And she has seen great results, but that definitely needs to be consulted with your medical professional person. I have a horror story about when I tried to get off of Zoloft.
Yep.
When I would say Katie was a baby, she's 13. It was terrible. I can still remember. It was terrible. But that's the kind of thing that will cause weight gain is those antidepressants and different things like that.
Yep.
And not all of them do, but a lot of them do. And so when you're messing with your body's chemicals by taking in, artificial things, it disrupts your body. And of course, like when we have hysterectomy, it disrupts our body, And so like I took care of one problem and caused more. Mm-hmm. So mine actually, to rewind, I had my tubes tied after Katie was born. And that's when all my problems started. And so we have 3 daughters, and I've already told them, I was like, y'all know y'all don't want to talk about this, but you will not get your tubes tied. It's just, you just know better, you do better type thing. And I'll talk about stuff like that all the time. But I do pray that you can find some relief. If you're not happy with what your doctor says, you find another one.
Yep.
I
Okay.
know it takes time and it's so frustrating, but it's when you have the right doctor, man alive, you can get so many things accomplished and done. So Carrie, what I really think that you need to focus on while you're waiting is SE fuel pull, just like what I told Kelly. The okra, the MCT, the water, as you can. Maybe you're not going to do all the things. Remember, I told y'all, we're not going to do everything all at one time because that'll drive you crazy. But do what you can. I can do okra every day. Check. I can have SE and fuel pull, or my breakfast will be on plan every day. That's my goal. Whatever it is, you get there, you solid habit, and then you begin to build up. Okay.
Okay.
While I'm thinking about it, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So while I'm thinking about it, those of you that shared, if this is sold as a replay, so if you don't want your information, you need to tell me so I can edit before it goes out. And you can, if it's something you don't want included, just message me or whatever, if that's a problem. If you don't, I'm going to assume you don't care. Okay, so that's that. Okay, any more questions?
Anything else?
Happy to answer it.
Me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm talking too much tonight.
No, you're fine.
For the varying the meals, it's the same probably for the S meal that I have every night, right? I should probably.
Yes, that is a good thought. Yes. But in my opinion, varying your carb source is more important than varying your fat source.
Okay.
In women. I am all about some leftovers.
Yeah.
I'm all about some leftovers. I would say
I don't like to cook every day either. I mean, I don't really enjoy cooking. So
well, I mean, and it's only just you.
Yeah,
it's only you half the time. I mean, gosh, I make a meal and it's gone before I can even make a leftover plate. Bless America. Yeah. Catherine, I don't know if Kathy, whatever you go by, I have 5 children. I don't know if you know that, but we got a big old house full of kids. She's like, I do. I had a prospect call today and I was like, hi, I'm Jamie. She's like, I know. And I can't believe I'm talking to you. Take a breath. She said, it's like talking to Pearl. I was like, oh girl, don't be saying that out loud. Oh, Lord have mercy. I about had a panic attack when I met Pearl. Y'all, she's so precious though. She's a little tiny thing. I told her, I said, this is a joke, but I got to say it. She's like, what? And I said, you need a cheeseburger. She's like, ah, it was a joke. She said, a bunless one. It was so funny. I couldn't help it. I'm an idiot half the time. I just couldn't help it. Okay. So yes, varying your carb source is important. I mean, and so your fat too. But my main go-tos for fat source is eggs and coconut oil. Like those are my top ones. I don't do much cheese because with Hashimoto's, autoimmune issues, gluten and dairy just aren't your friend. And so I don't do them often. I do have them, but if I'm gonna do dairy, it's low dairy to me is low fat dairy and then cultured as well. So cottage cheese, kefir, fat-free Greek yogurt. Other fat sources that I do enjoy would be probably avocado, different oils, olive oil, and of course the coconut oil. Coconut, I do like coconut. And then I use dairy-free heavy cream. Okay. I put that in my coffee. Have y'all seen the keto syrups that I get, the Jordan Skinny keto syrups? Okay, so you make your coffee with your collagen, 3 pumps of mocha,
okay,
and some dairy-free cream. Ooh, it's so delish. You're welcome. Yeah. That's a good little S. And I do probably I don't need a lot, about a half a tablespoon maybe of that dairy-free heavy cream. That's hard to say. But it's really, really good. I like it a lot.
I got it this weekend and tried it. The dairy.
Gotta keep it shook up though.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess that like some of the S meals, the recipes,
yes,
that have cheese and different things, and where I like them, I don't think they're very helpful. So I'm kind of
okay. Well, this is what I do with those.
Okay.
I try to choose like a blend of cheese, maybe that's got some lower fat, not like full sharp or something. And I half it. So if it calls for 2 cups, I just do 1 cup over the whole casserole. And that really helps lighten the caloric load and your dairy intake as well.
Because I mean, the recipes are delicious, but then I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that's might be too much.
Yeah, I know. I got on we did a ton of bunless burgers one summer. It was just like we were camping or we were having people over and it was like burger, burger, burger. And so I was having, and ours is deer venison or whatever burger. So it's a little leaner. We mix the venison sausage with it as well, but it's not full fat like a beef burger would be. But, I was still putting a piece of cheese and avocado and bacon. And then I would have like Melissa's Amish broccoli salad with the mayonnaise and then, whatever. And then I would have a dessert that was on plan, but full of fat, And so like I was noticing those things. This is before I became a coach. And I'm like, girl, you might want to back off of some of that a little bit. And so I choose, I try to choose more wisely.
Yeah.
What fats I do.
Have to
I mean,
pay
heavy,
attention.
that's a heavy S, what I just described. They have their place. I find them that I enjoy them more for celebratory things, because a heavy S is not really beneficial to weight loss. I'm in maintenance mode, and so I might have it more than normal, but still, if I do them too much, I'm not going to be in maintenance mode anymore. It
Right.
won't last long.
Yeah. I do a deep S on the weekend mornings, and I might need to change that where I'll do the salmon, like the crispy salmon siesta.
Yes, that's my
with,
favorite recipe.
Zucchini and spinach. I love that. And if the salmon's small, I'll have an egg with it too. But oh my gosh.
There's
it's
nothing wrong with that, girlfriend. You enjoy that, okay?
Really? Okay. So I don't
Yeah.
need to worry about the fat on that.
No.
That is my
No.
Saturday and Sunday morning, like yum.
Now that recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. The only thing I can suggest is back off a tablespoon. And
Yeah,
just
I don't think I use that much.
Yeah.
Because I don't put like 2 in there. I just put enough, to where it's not burning. So
Yeah, perfect. I think you're doing fine.
good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like that meal.
Yeah, we need that fat. It really helps our brain. Need fat. Think about our babies when they were little, what they need, fat to build their brain. We need it too, so we can keep our brain. Yes. If you have Hashimoto's, you have brain fog anyway. So that's just a really helpful thing. All right, girls, anything else? All right. Thank y'all so much. And all of y'all that are watching the replay, which is pretty funny to me. I love all of y'all so much. I'm cheering for you, and y'all are all going to do so well. I hope that this was very helpful. Yes. All right. Y'all have a great,
Thank you.
what is today? Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday night. Bye, y'all. I can't get it to stop.